Hi, it's January 22nd, and I am still in Zhengzhou, China. Mother, happy birthday. I hope that you do get to see this video on your birthday. Um, I know that your internet must be down again because we haven't had any emails back and forth. But anyway, I want to wish you a very happy birthday because, as you know, I will not be on the computer on your birthday. I will be in Vietnam. So that just leads me to what to chat about today. Um, it's been a while since I've done one of these, and I am almost at the 5-month mark, going into my 6 months, sixth month in China, Zhengzhou, China. And the school has just ended. I had my last day of school on Tuesday, which was a day ago, the day before yesterday, so 2 days ago. And I'm very happy. I am going to be taking this opportunity. I've got about 3 weeks off, and I'm going to leave China and travel somewhere else. And some of you may be wondering why, when I have this 3 weeks break, I haven't been anywhere outside of Zhengzhou except for Shaolin. Sorry, I'm doing my laundry. I can hear it. I haven't been anywhere outside of besides Shaolin. Why would I not just travel within China? And I have about 3 reasons for that. The first reason is that I just need to get out of the pollution. Although for the past 3 days it's been really nice. I mean, for Zhengzhou standards, it's been nice. Like, mostly blue skies, and I've even seen the moon a couple times. But still, when I made my choice of leaving, that was it was right in the thickest of smog days. And then another reason is because I want to be warm, so I decided to go somewhere warm. And then the last reason is because all of China is on vacation. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of the photos of people traveling on the trains, but they're just packed. And we're talking about 1 billion people on vacation at the same time. And so I've just decided that I would rather travel through China when everyone else in China is not on vacation. So I'm going to Vietnam. I'm going to Vietnam for 4 days. I know it's not a very long time, but I'm just going to visit a friend. I'll be in Saigon, or Ho Chi Minh City. And then from Vietnam, I'm flying into Australia, which I'll be in Australia for about 13 days, 14 or 13 days. I'll be in Sydney, and then go up to Melbourne. I've never been to Australia before, so I'm really excited. I've never been to Vietnam before either, so I'm excited about that. I think the Vietnam trip will be great because, I mean, I don't even know if you can call it a trip when you just pop in somewhere for 4 days. I have a friend that's another teacher, and she's living there right now. So I thought that it'd be a great way to visit her and then kind of just get a little glimpse of this city that I've always wanted to see. And then Australia, I'm also meeting a friend, which I'm from back home, which I'm really looking forward to. So, yeah, that's why I'm leaving. I will be back in February, mid-February, and classes will start up again. My class semester went, I don't know, my school, I feel like I have American kids. I don't feel like I'm teaching Chinese kids. Or that they're already in college or something. My students just are not as, they're just not as hardworking. I don't know. Maybe it's just my class. Maybe I'm just a really terrible teacher. But we did fiction because I teach literature, and we focused on The Outsiders for most of this semester. I used the novel as sort of the base of an example of fiction, juvenile fiction, and also within using this book, we went over themes, the plot line, climax, conflict, rising action, falling action, the various points within the plot of a story, exposition, things like that. So I used literary terms, and vocabulary and slang, so that as we went through the book, I was able to pull different literary devices out for them to see. Whether it was effective or not, I don't know. But a couple things that I tried was I did have the kids act out one part of the book, which is the scene when Johnny and Pony Boy. I don't know if you're not familiar with the book, then none of this will mean anything. But for some people, it's pretty classic, an iconic story from American teen literature. But the scene when the Socs jump Pony Boy and Johnny ends up killing Bob, which is the conflict in the story, and that was really entertaining to watch them act that out. And it had to, they had to do it all in English. And I had a couple students be really, really creative, which was great to see them kind of make up their own dialogue, which is really what I wanted them to do. But most of them just went straight from the book, but that's okay. And then, since we spent the whole semester focusing on this viewpoint of the greasers, kids that were from a low income to impoverished area that were in conflict with kids, the Socs, who were from wealthy areas. And I'm fairly certain most of my students are from pretty well-off families. So I thought that it was valuable to see these sort of clashes that are happening. And then this is kind of like the beginning of gang violence in the United States at this time period, which has really escalated, of course, as we know. But I thought that for the last day after the finals, I had to go back to school for a couple days, that I would have them watch something that was from the Socs perspective. Not that we don't see that all the time, but from the same time period, because the character Cherry in the book The Outsiders had talked about Pony's lack of understanding of what it's like to be this kid from a wealthy family with all these pressures that your parents have on you and society has on you. At least that's what I was just interpreting it as. I'm always a little bit more sympathetic for the greasers anyway, being a bit of a greaser myself. But I decided to show the kids the movie The Dead Poets Society on these last 2 days where we were done with school and lessons, and I'm not even really sure why we had to go back to school. But that's their own policy. So we watched The Dead Poets Society, which has always been kind of special to my heart, because it incorporates poetry and theater and this that desire of wanting to do what you really dream of doing, and the obstacle of having society and familiar pressures prevent you from doing those things. And sometimes people go to desperate measures because they feel trapped and they can't escape. I don't think they really cared for it. I think they were bored. But I would say that 2 of my students really just sort of soaked that movie up, and the other ones were much more interested in being on their phones and were pretty bored. But it was funny, afterwards, because if any of you, if you haven't seen The Dead Poets Society, this also means absolutely nothing to you, but if you have seen The Dead Poets Society, when Mr. Keating is a scapegoat for what happened near the end of the movie, one of my students turns around and he looks at me and he says, "Sometimes it's hard to be a good teacher." That was it. Which I also had another student that had a really great saying on a test question. I had said, why does Dali. I apologize to those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about. Why does Dali, that's the Matt Dillon character, why does Dali not want Johnny to turn himself into the police? And one student wrote, because Dali's been to jail and Dali knows that jail is not a good, what did he say? Because Dali's been to jail and Dali knows jail is a bad party. And I thought that was hilarious. Anyway, that's pretty much what my semester has been. I think next semester we're going to tackle poetry and nonfiction. So the first half of the semester will be poetry and the second half of the semester will be nonfiction. And I think the nonfiction will be appropriate because we could focus on some more essay writings and things like that, which they really need some work on to help them with their SATs and TOEFL, which is obviously the most important thing in life. Testing, most important thing in life. Obviously, it bothers me a little bit, but, you know, it's not just here. It's everywhere, except for apparently Finland. So, yeah, poetry, nonfiction. I'd really, really love to teach Into the Wild because I think that would just be so interesting to see the, well, just to read it and then just to work with the kids over it and see what they think about it. But it's not easy to get material. And I do have this rote Princeton literature book that I can use as well. So, yeah, end of semester, 5 months in Zhengzhou. I'm already at 12 minutes. I'm going to stop talking. I did want to say a little something about some recent experiences, but they're boring and uninteresting and only amusing to myself, and I think I'll just put them in writing form. So, have a great vacation for all of you people who are teachers in China that are getting a break right now. And for those of you who are Chinese students studying abroad in the United States, Happy New Year. And don't feel too lonely for missing the Spring Festival. I know that most of you would like to be home. This is like your Christmas for you. But remember that there'll be a Spring Festival for you in your future. And enjoy your studies since you're probably not on break right now. Mom, happiest of birthdays. And friends, I will see you again very soon. All right. Bye.